What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Grind Forest Gaming. Nova here with another Street Fighter Duel video, and as always, we have DatSkat with us. DatSkat, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
We are going to talk about the new fighter today, and I know this might be a little, overdue here. She's been out for a little bit, but we've been quite busy. So today we're going to talk about Diviner Rose. And to kick this off, I'm just going to do like a really quick overview of her skills. Her super is just doing some additional work if the enemy has Fate Divination on them, but the damage is not so great, so I'm not like super impressed by it. C1, you're getting a heal, plus you're getting a debuff, Dispel. Her C2, you're doing Fate Divination, which is dispelling buffs on the other team, which is pretty awesome. And then her passive is basically just doing a little bit of additional speed up for you at its surface. So that's a really, really nice thing to do. And you have an increase in chance of that, as well as an increase of the amount of it. So getting her leveled is definitely going to be important. The passive is going to play a huge role. Her fighting spirit is also very interesting, especially her FS30, because that is increasing your crit damage by 12% and it stacks up to 5 times. And it's permanent. It doesn't have a timer. A lot of buffs like this that are stackable throughout battles actually go away after a little bit, but this one does not, which is pretty awesome. So, like I said, just a really quick overview of the skills. DatSkat, what do you think? How do you feel about D Rose, as we call her?
D Rose, not Derrick Rose for all you basketball enthusiasts.
I don't know who that is.
but D Rose is a pretty sweet unit. Very has a ton of utility. Like, she's healing you, she's keeping your side clean from debuffs, or she's affecting the enemy's team ability to buff themselves. She has a little bit of speed built into her passive. Her FS30 is giving crit to everybody. So she does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And, honestly, guys, I think you could stop at 3 out of 6 vehicles because you're probably going to use her C1 mostly.
This is an interesting thing, right? I don't know that we have another fighter where 3 out of 3 vehicles affects one skill and 6 out of 6 affects another skill, but not the other one.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think you can stop at 3 vehicles, and that's pretty cool. 6 will obviously get you a few more stats here and there, but you're really not looking for her stats. Like, her heal isn't the best heal. Her debuffs are pretty good, but, ideally these fights are started and ended really quickly, right? So, like, I don't know how much of dispelling debuffs from your team is going to be useful. The crit stacking is really, really good, but the fight has to kind of go on for a little bit of time for her passive to start triggering.
Yep.
Because that's the only way to get her FS30 skills to crit buffs to start stacking.
Correct. I think it's an interesting play because I feel like she has 2 uses. I feel like for bosses you'd want the C1. So if you are just using her for bosses, then I think the 3 out of 3 vehicles is a pretty solid play because some of these bosses just constantly debuff you and stack like burn on you and stuff like that. And if you can remove those,
it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I feel like C2 is maybe more a play for PvP.
Yeah, probably. For just a little more control with your lineup.
Yeah. I mean, if you can stop, so let's say you and I are sparring. If I can stop you from buffing your team, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. If you can weaken my Dulcime's ability to make himself super strong, it's pretty good.
Yeah. It doesn't say like if any passives or I'm sorry, not passives, but if any buffs are like not touchable. Obviously some fighters it'll say like grants a shield, cannot be dispelled or whatever, but a lot of these fighters like Dulcime, Sea Viper, Guile, these fighters that are so built around getting certain stacks, all of those stacks can be removed by D Rose. None of them have the verbiage that says that they cannot be dispelled.
Exactly. So, however, if the question is, do I pull for her through the divination?
Ooh, yeah. Has priority changed?
I I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't. I think that there are a number of units that do some of what she's doing a little bit more acutely.
Okay.
Um, with the exception of the removing debuffs from your team, like
Right.
that's pretty
Right.
cool. But as far as the heal goes, the speed goes, I think you can sub in regular faction heroes and get a same effect or a similar effect to a greater extent.
Okay.
Um, Part of the downfall of Diviner Rose is that her heal is scaled from her attack rather than from her health.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that
and
is
so
very
her
true.
her heal's not impressive. I would rather have Summer Yang out there or Elena out there providing a heal. I'd even rather have regular Rose, I think, providing a heal over Diviner Rose if I'm putting her into heal.
Right.
So I think she's a little niche.
Okay.
I think you're gonna do better pulling for first M Bison, then either Summer Ibuki or Sagat, depending on what you think your needs are. Um,
Yeah. And
then maybe even think you might even be thinking about Athletic Chung Li after that,
yep.
before you get all the way down. And by that time, maybe you have one of the special summon heroes to SSS and can pull for them through divination. Then they become the priority.
Sure.
I I don't see her being at the top of anybody's list as far as like a must-have.
Yeah, I agree
Um,
with you. I agree with you on that. She is just kind of like a smattering of a bunch of fighters, really.
I think so.
She's a little bit of Elena. She's a little bit of S Poison. She's a little bit of Combat Guile.
Yeah.
But she also, kind of still has a similar like style of mechanic as the original Rose, where she's giving buffs or
Mm-hmm.
she's debuffing. But it's different because
Mm-hmm.
it's dispelling, but she still kind of like falls into that same style of fighter. I think I don't know. I feel like the original Rose is better. So I almost feel like
I
if you're I guess it depends on how you want to use them, right? There's always a use case
yes.
for things here. Um
Yes.
so I don't want to say the other Rose is better, I guess. That's not fair to say because they do very different things, but as far as like divination pulls would go, I feel like I would still go for the original Rose over the new Rose.
I think it just comes down to what you need.
Yeah.
If you have every character and you don't need anybody, going for somebody like D Rose might be um, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think she would be really fun to have.
It'd be interesting to have both of them on the team because the original Rose you want to be running C2.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so you could run C1 with her with D Rose, C1 with D
Yeah.
Rose, C2 with the original Rose. And then if you have like a trigger fighter like Evil Ryu in there.
Or Summer Ibuki, and it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, or Summer Ibuki, yeah, and you have a good tank out front. It could be Bison, it could be Goken, it could be Sagat even. Like
You
that
could
would
do
be
Sagat and run his C3
yeah.
because you still need
Use
a
his
C3 at that point.
use his super and his C3 and then you have another fighter just triggering off of the others. I mean that's pretty interesting.
I might even do Summer Ibuki's Super at that point.
Oh, sure.
But
Sure.
here's the linchpin, and to wrap this video up, I think that um, Diviner Rose, everything depends on whether her passives work out of the tag position. Because
Ooh. Yeah.
if they don't, then she is absolute trash, and don't pull for her.
And this is an issue, right? Like we saw this with Summer Yang, we saw this with
Yep,
athlete Chun Li. Sometimes
correct.
the devs are releasing these new fighters without proper testing, and their passives don't work in the tag position. So,
Or you might think they are working when they're not working,
right,
and so I need to see concrete proof that she works from the tag.
right,
Um, and if somebody knows the answer to that with certainty, please
right.
comment down below in the
Yeah,
comments. We'd love to hear from you.
because neither of us
Um,
have her. So, like, I haven't been able to test with her, and annoyingly, And I don't know why this is, but in the fighter trials, you can't put them in the tag. Like, why not?
I know.
You're forced to have them in the lineup, but you can't put her in the tag. Is it because the passive doesn't work? Is that why? It's like you have to buy her to find out.
I
don't know.
I will make no such claims to understand anything about the devs, but it seems to be a common theme.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And
Though. It's
I want
kind
to
of
know
funny.
if the passive works. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know. And I wish that you could test her in the tag in the trials, because then you could find out. I wish this would be a cool thing, and I think they should do this, is you can fight that little like totem pole. You fight the other fighters that don't get knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you make that team up of whatever fighters you want? You're just testing. It's not part of the actual trial. Like, why can't you use whatever fighter you want to test her out?
I think you're onto something there. And any devs listening,
Oh, they're not listening.
I think okay. But that would be an awesome thing. Anyway.
That would be awesome. I wish they would do that. But yeah, overall, I think we're on the same page here. Good fighter.
Yep.
Maybe
Good fighter.
maybe great fighter against bosses.
There's no way she's bad. That's the deal.
But not
right?
Not new priority. Right.
Exactly.
We want to see Sagat first. We want Bison. We want. I personally myself, I want Summer Ibuki first. But the cool thing with some of these divination fighters is you can just bring them to SS and see value. You don't have to bring them all the way to SSS. So if you get one to SS, get the skills unlocked, you can change if you want to. But don't do it before that. At least get to SS.
I think that D Rose could be good at SS. But FS 30 for sure.
Yeah, she's not doing a lot of damage, right? You just want the dispel and you want the buffs.
Well, and you want that crit boost, most importantly, from her FS 30.
Right.
That's the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you were saying. That is the linchpin for her, because if her passive works in the tag, she's perfect at SS.
Yep. So there you go, guys.
Sweet.
There it is.
All right. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you're not subscribing already, definitely do so. Throw a like on the video, comment as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think about D Rose, and we will see you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Later.